On this episode, we'll be taking a quick look at annulments. I'm Father John Fletcher, and you're watching 5 Minute Faith. Some people think of annulments as Catholic divorce. That's probably not the best way to look at things. In order to understand what an annulment really is, we first need to take a look at what marriage is. And there's two ways that we can look at marriage. There's through the eyes of the church, and then there's through the eyes of the state. In the eyes of the church, marriage is a sacred bond between a man and a woman. In the eyes of the state, marriage is simply a legal contract between two people. When a man and a woman come to the Catholic Church for marriage, they make vows to one another in the presence of God and in His minister to spend the rest of their lives together. In the making of these vows, they enter into a sacred bond one with the other. And this bond is a permanent bond, and nothing and no one can break that bond. The only way that bond can be broken is through the death of the spouse. And as long as this bond exists, this couple is married in the eyes of God and in the eyes of the church. Whether they live together or not, they're still married as long as that bond exists. And because they're still married, they're not free to pursue relationships with other people. In the eyes of the state, marriage is a legal contract that can be broken with the help of a lawyer. When the contract of marriage is broken, we call this divorce. While it's true the state can dissolve the contract of marriage, they can't break the bond, that sacred bond that happened when the couple got married in the church. An annulment is when the church investigates very carefully the relationship of the couple leading up to the time of their marriage. They talk to their parents, and they talk to the couple, and they talk to their friends, and what they're looking for is, are all the necessary requirements in place at the time of their wedding? And should they discover one or more of the requirements was lacking, then the church grants what's called a declaration of nullity. In other words, the church says because the couple was lacking in one of these essential requirements, they didn't actually enter into a valid sacramental marriage. And since there was no sacramental marriage, there was no bond. And since there's no bond, then the couple is free to pursue relationships with other people. Of course, they have to get the civil divorce first, but after that, they are free because there was no bond. So what does this say about children? I've heard some people say that if the church declares their marriage to be null, that it implies that their children are illegitimate. This is definitely not true. You see, because the couple entered into a proper civil contract with one another, those children were born in wedlock and are legitimate. But the church doesn't consider whether a child is legitimate or illegitimate. The church considers that every child is a gift from God. I hope that this has helped to give you a better understanding of annulments. I'm Father John Fletcher, and I'll see you next time on 5 Minute Faith.